I'm John Van Lenten. I work for Granite Construction. I'm a project manager estimator. My wife is Taji. We've been married for 18 years. And my son Eric is a junior, and my daughter Jazzy is a 8th grader. I like a lot of things that we do with influencers, but my favorite one is the journey. I have had my life changed by God through influencers. I've seen other guys' lives changed, and so I'm willing to talk about it. A friend of mine from work invited me when we first moved to Bakersfield and asked me if I would be interested in going with him. I think he invited me because the same reason that I'm here. He had his life changed through the journey. Had seen other lives get changed. I was a friend of his. He cared about me, and I think he thought, I want you to be a part of this too. I want you to benefit from this the same way that I did. I mean, I've grown up in Christian circles my whole life, basically. And I can honestly say that I've never been through anything like the journey. I've never experienced anything quite like the journey. It is not a Bible study. It is not an accountability group. What it is a process of moving into an intimate, abiding relationship with God through His Son Jesus and through the power of the Holy Spirit. And you do it in the context of a group, which is really amazing to hear other people's stories and to encourage each other and to sharpen each other. So that's why it's different. The other thing I think that really makes it different is that there's life change. I've been through a lot of groups and studies and things in the past, and a year or two later, you might look back and say, am I really different because of what I did? What I went through, what I experienced, what I read, whatever the situation was. And most of the time the answer was no. There might be a few things that you picked up, but the journey is profoundly changing. It changes a lot of things about you. I don't think there was a real turning point. There was no singular, bam moment where everything turned right side up. I think for me, it's more a cumulative thing. There are certainly a lot of aha moments, and those happen all the time. But it's a cumulative growth, as I learn, as my faith grows, as I interact with other people and grow in my faith. I think just in general, I'm finally beginning to live life the way God designed it to be lived. Just experiencing peace and joy, not getting sidetracked and not getting too wrapped up in the little things of this world. Even though they may be important in the big scheme of things and scheme of eternity, they're just not that important. And so kind of the freedom and peace that comes from that. It's indescribable. It's invaluable to have that peace and purpose in life.
All right, so you talk about purpose. What's your purpose?
If I had to boil it down, I would say my purpose is to glorify God in everything that I do and to share Him with other people. I might have said that was my purpose for a long time, many years, but I think I'm beginning to live more like that really is my purpose. I would just emphasize there's nothing like being close to Him. It is truly living life like He designed it to be lived. He created us to have relationship with Him. And that's why there's so much emptiness and so much disillusionment and disappointment in this world, because we're living without our Creator, without a relationship with the God who made us. And then the longer you go like that, the more danger of a situation you're in. And so I think I've learned that lesson to where I don't want to put myself in that situation anymore. I want to be able to hear His voice, and His voice sounds a lot like what's written in His Word. And so the more I read His Word, the more familiar I am with His voice, and that's the place I want to be.